Hello, Internet. Hey, thank you for watching the next episode of Binge Watch. As today I am reviewing an older movie from a Korean movie, in fact, from Bong Joon Ho, that from 2003. That's actually called Memories of Murder. And some of you may actually know who Bong Joon Ho is. He is the Korean director who directed the film Parasite, which won multiple Academy Awards last year, including Best Picture and Best Director for Bong Joon Ho. And Bong Joon Ho, his style is actually amazing. If you ever had a chance to watch Parasite. But in this case, with Memories of Murder, this is one of his older movies that he made back in 2003. In fact, Memories of Murder is the second feature film he ever directed for his career. And this served as a launching pad for other movies that actually came about. Not only that, one of the things that's actually fascinating about this movie is that it stars on Kang Hong Song, who also stars in Parasite, who is the father, if you actually recalled watching Parasite. Now, Kang Hong Song has worked with director Bong Joon Ho multiple times. Other movies that he worked with later on after Memories of Murder included Snowpiercer and The Host, and of obviously Parasite. So the pair have worked together for a total of 4 different movies. And Memories of Murder is the first movie that the two ever worked together. Now, the storyline is actually fascinating because if you ever have a chance to watch this film, you would not believe it that it actually is set based on a true story of a serial killer in Korea. In fact, it is the first serial killing in Korea. So it's based off of a serial killer in sort of like the rural areas of Korea. So the story for the film is a fictional narrative based on this true story about a serial killer who goes around killing and raping and tying up women in the countryside of a small village in Korea. Now, the story goes on that there's actually 2 detectives, but they are fairly incompetent. So it's in its own way, it's very comical that they spend a lot of time trying to hunt down this serial killer, but they use unconventional methods. And not only that, they're so desperate to solve the case that they would willing to frame certain suspects as the serial killer. Excuse me. And then until a detective from Seoul, Korea, volunteers to be on the project, totally upends that police department, and somehow connects the dot of the serial killer that actually includes the time that the serial killing actually happens, the type of women, the type of outfits that they actually wear, the type of weather, what actually is going on. So the third detective, who is fairly competent, comes in, disproves those 2 detectives' theories and suspects of all these possible serial killer, and then the hunt for serial killing actually ensues. This film is fascinating, and it's not just because of the storytelling based on a true story. It's also fascinating on the way how it's actually directed and acted. It's very compelling, despite the fact that it's about over 2 hours long. It kind of draws you in because you're trying to figure out, using your own detective minds, trying to figure out who this serial killer is. And in a way, just like Parasite, you have these characters that are, I don't want to say like lovable characters, but they are the characters that you want to cheer on. Okay, there is no characters that you actually hate. And not to mention that there is this unknown serial killer that's actually out there And despite the fact that the serial killer isn't really shown throughout the entire movie, you kind of want to cheer on the serial killer to keep on egging these police officers throughout the entire film. The way how Bong Joon Ho directs this film kind of draws you into the story, despite the film takes place in during the night in the dark. I find the cinematic quality to be very, very visually stimulating. And what's amazing is that this film was made 17 years ago, which is quite impressive at the time. And that's because of the way how the story is actually told and the way how it's actually filmed. So I actually highly recommend this film as a film to watch, especially if you are a Bong Joon Ho fan after watching Parasite. Because most people who, after watching Parasite, they want to revisit some of his old movies, and they end up visiting some of his old movies that includes Snowpiercer, The Host, and Mother, which are all excellent films. But if you're going to revisit one of Bong Joon Ho's films, revisit one of his earlier works from 17 years ago with Memories of Murder, which is the second feature film that he ever directed. You won't regret it. It's actually wonderful, wonderful storytelling. Memories of Murder is actually playing this week as a 2-day fandom special, and it will be out on VOD on October 27th. So, anyways, my final grade for this film is an A minus. Please like, subscribe, and comment below, and I will see you folks next time on Binge Watch on LRM Online. Thank you very much. This is Gig Patta signing off. Bye now.